Alex and Spencer's 1923 story really is incredible. We've just been distracted by Yellowstone's war promise. 1923 Season 2, Episode 6 points out that Alex, Julia Schlattfer, and Spencer Dutton's Brandon Sklenar story in the prequel is incredible, but we've been too distracted by the unfulfilled promise of the Dutton family's impending war to appreciate it fully. As 1923 Season 2 has progressed, there has been a buzz about Taylor Sheridan's Dutton prequel wasting time, drawing out a range war advertised as the season's main draw. Well, it's clear the war has finally begun in 1923 Season 2. Episode 6 ending, the complaints about wasted time in Alex and Spencer's journeys have been tremendous. Since the premiere, Spencer and Alex's 1923 journeys have progressed slowly, with holdups in each chapter compromising their time together in Season 2. Spencer got held up in Galveston, Texas, after unwittingly saving a member of the Italian mafia, Luca Andy Despena, on his Italian freighter heading for the Gulf Shore. Alexandra barely made it out of London after discovering she was pregnant, and terrible things have happened to Alex in 1923 Season 2. Still, the silver lining is that the lovers' journey to reunite is fantastic, telling two unique stories about life in America's Prohibition era. After Alex's friends in 1923 save her at the train station, convincing the Chicago police she was the victim in her altercation, and taking her home to Winnetka, Spencer's wife tells the couple her ill-fated saga. As Alex completes her story, telling them about how she was separated from her husband in Marseille, Paul Augustus Prue remarks that the story of Alex's odyssey is the most fantastic thing he's ever heard. Paul's comment to Hillary, Janet Montgomery, is a reminder of how truly epic Alex and Spencer's journey has been. And that's because of their disappointing separation, not despite it. While disappointing in a sense, Alex and Spencer's separate experiences tell the story of an immigrant and a veteran. For both parties, America is more hostile than they expected. Spencer remarks throughout his voyage through America that the land he returned to isn't a country he recognizes, and isn't the land he fought for. Similarly, as Alex says in 1923 Season 2, Episode 3, America isn't the land of respite that was advertised in her home country. All the while, Alex and Spencer have been brave of heart. We're cheering for their reunion, proving their courage and determination are infectious. Appreciating Spencer and Alex's story hasn't been straightforward for many viewers since 1923 Season 2 was advertised differently. 1923 Season 2's trailer heavily leans on the developments of the Dutton family's war, but it has taken 6 episodes to scrape the surface of the tactical conflict. However, as Banner Creighton, Jerome Flynn, surmises in Episode 6, Jacob Dutton, Harrison Ford, has purposefully stalled the war, awaiting Spencer's return to fight for the Yellowstone ranch. Spencer's trip can be frustrating to watch because we're waiting for his return, too, since that's when the action is supposed to start. Spencer's journey feels off track because we want to see him get home and reunite with Alexandra, since that's what 1923 Season 1's ending also promised. However, when suspending any irritation that the war has not begun, understanding that it will all play out rapidly once it does, Yellowstone viewers can appreciate just how meaningful Alex and Spencer's stories have been. Collectively, Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone prequels, 1883 and 1923, tell a subversive story of a family navigating life in America after the Civil War and through the Prohibition era. Spencer and Alex's cross-country journeys paint a more complete picture of the period. Rewatching 1923 Season 1 before the second season allowed me to understand that 1923's Yellowstone story is really about Alex and Spencer Dutton's romance and their will to survive and be together. The couple's time in Africa in 1923 Season 1 comprises some of the most enthralling scenes of the prequel, and similarly to Season 2, tells a more complete story of what was happening during the period outside life on the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch. Alex and Spencer's time in Africa in 1923 Season 1 also comprises some of the most passionate moments in the franchise, and 1923 Season 2 evolves that. Established in 1923 Season 1, Alex and Spencer's journey is not just about the highs of their romance, but their determination to persevere through its lows. After their wedding, Spencer tells Alex that everything up to that moment felt like a sign from the universe that they weren't meant to be together. Still, when Spencer and Alex talked about how brief life is in Tanganyika, we witnessed their deep-seated alignment. Perhaps 1923 Season 2 is really about how hard both lovers fight to overcome their adversity. Hopefully, Alex and Spencer's incredible 1923 stories end with them finally starting their lives together. In the whirlwind of war, betrayal, and survival that defines 1923, Spencer and Alexandra's story has often been overshadowed by the broader conflict threatening the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch. But if we take a step back from the bloodshed, land disputes, and family struggles, what remains is an incredible love story, one that might just be the most captivating aspect of 1923. Spencer Dutton, a man hardened by war, is introduced as a lone figure in Africa, a soldier-turned-hunter whose existence is dictated by survival. Haunted by his past, he moves through the world as a shadow of the man he once was, finding solace in the thrill of the hunt rather than in human connection. Enter Alexandra, a British aristocrat engaged to a man who represents everything she despises about her own privileged world. She's suffocating under the weight of societal expectations, yearning for adventure, for life beyond ballrooms and carefully arranged futures. When their worlds collide, it's not just a chance encounter, it's fate pulling them together. Alex and Spencer's love story is nothing short of cinematic. It's passion born out of the unknown, love that flourishes in the face of danger. They flee from the confines of her past, setting off on an odyssey filled with peril, loss, and an unshakable bond that continues to strengthen with every near-death experience. Their journey is reminiscent of the grand love stories of old, epic, sweeping, and destined to endure, no matter the odds stacked against them. But what makes their story even more compelling is its contrast to the traditional Yellowstone War narrative. While 1923 is deeply entrenched in themes of power, legacy, and the fight for land, Alex and Spencer's tale is raw and personal. It's not about holding on to land or preserving a family name. It's about survival through love, about choosing each other when the world gives them every reason to give up. Their journey is riddled with obstacles, from the deadly wilds of Africa to the perils of sea voyages, and the constant uncertainty of their future. Each challenge they face forces them to trust in one another, forging a love that is tested in ways most could never comprehend. They are not simply lovers. They are partners in the truest sense, bound by an unspoken promise to find their way back to each other, no matter the circumstances. Yet while their story is gripping, 1923 often places them in the background as the narrative remains focused on the larger struggle for the Dutton Empire. And while the land war, the battle against corporate greed, and the shifting tides of history are undoubtedly compelling, they pale in comparison to the deeply human story of Alex and Spencer. Their love is not just a subplot, it is the beating heart of 1923, a reminder that in a world filled with conflict and pain, love remains the most powerful force of all. Even as Spencer is pulled back toward his family's fight, he and Alexandra's story remains a testament to endurance. While others battle for land, they fight for each other. And perhaps in the grand scheme of the Dutton legacy, their story, one of sacrifice, devotion, and an unwavering bond, will prove to be the most enduring of all. As Yellowstone's war rages on, we may be distracted by the promise of bloodshed and vengeance. But in the quieter moments of 1923, amidst the roaring seas and vast African landscapes, a love story unlike any other is unfolding. And that more than any battle might just be the most unforgettable part of the Dutton saga.